Oh, good God, guys. I don't know how many times I've said this on the channel, but every single time that there's any sort of news or leaks for Call of Duty, it is always horrible. Like, it's not good. It doesn't matter if it's regarding the next game, it doesn't matter if it's regarding the developers and Activision and their decision making, but what I always find to be the worst one, and it's another topic that we've talked about multiple times on the channel, it's always the content pool, it's always the content flow that's given to us in a given year. And guys, I mean, just as another reminder, seasonal content doesn't work. And I know it sounds like I'm a broken record, I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, and trust me, every single time there's a new season, I feel the exact same way you feel. It's the same goddamn thing. I know this news came out a few days ago. I chose specifically not to talk about it, and I very specifically chose to do absolutely anything else other than play this game. I haven't even touched ranked play all that much. I'm still in like silver or gold or something like that. You're probably seeing some early gameplay of me in ranked play. By the way, if it's the gameplay I'm thinking of, that ending scoreboard is criminal. I mean, certain people need to be arrested for what happens at the very end at the scoreboard. But you know who needs to be arrested even more? The goddamn developers, guys. This content drought that we're in, we're not getting out of it, alright? Some people had hopes that Call of Duty would get back on track, that sure, we got a couple of lackluster seasons all throughout Vanguard, a couple in Cold War, a few in MW 2019, but more specifically, in MW 2019 Part 2, you know, the game that has 3,000 developers, all studios working on it, the highest and fastest selling Call of Duty of all time, most advanced Call of Duty of all time, blah blah blah, #1 game of 2022, lost to Splatoon, right? This game is supposed to be the pinnacle of Call of Duty, yet when you look at this leak for the content pool that is being given to us for the remainder of the year, it is all 100% top to bottom pathetic. Whoever made the decision, whoever is in charge of why this is happening, that person needs to stop working with Infinity Ward, needs to stop working with Activision. These guys don't know their elbows from their ass. And I hope people finally start to agree with me why seasonal content is such an issue in Call of Duty. Because when you do it right, sometimes it comes out okay, but the majority of the time, it's coming out bad. And when it's bad, it's horrible. Look, I don't know if I can show the images on the screen. I mean, if there's any content creator out there that Activision wants to clap, if they knew about them, it would probably be the Scadmaster. I'm not gonna lie, but to have 3 core maps in Season 3, and then the remainder of the seasons between Season 4 and Season 6, with the non-existence of Season 5 for whatever reason, only having 2 maps each in those seasons, it's horrible. By the way, in Season 3, we're supposed to get 3 maps, but like we heard last week, one of those maps was moved into Season 2 for the Reloaded update, which is okay, I guess, for Season 2, but now Season 3 is only gonna have 2 maps. And then Season 4 is going to have 2 maps, and then Season 5 just doesn't exist, and then Season 6 also has 2 maps. Guys, I don't understand what goes through these people's minds. And yes, some of this is outdated, some of this is bound to change, obviously, like Season 3 is for sure not coming out in March. But look, aside from the maps, why is it that per season, we are getting 70 bundles? I don't know if I'm reading this incorrectly, and maybe they mean to say 70 bundles for the entirety of the year, but it looks like they're saying 70 bundles per season. I'm not gonna bother doing the math because at this point in time, I'd rather sit on a cactus and spin. Why the hell is there 70 bundles per season? And at least one of the operators per season is going to be a licensed operator. So operators like the Attack on Titan operators from last year, like Snoop Dogg last year, like King Kong and Godzilla, anything that they need special permission to do, anything that's actually going to benefit the other party that owns that person or character to use as an operator in Call of Duty, there's going to be at least one of those per season, which, you know what? If that's your thing, that's okay. But when you gotta spend $25 for it and they want to pair it with 2 other bundles that you have to buy for $25 each, and then at the end of buying all 3 you get a free sticker, get that garbage out of my face. I just find it incredibly funny how they have all of the time, all of the developers on deck to create 70 goddamn bundles per season, but they can't give us more than 2 maps in a season. And before some of you gooch lickers hop in the comments, oh, it's different dev teams,
that work on bundles than maps.
Yeah, no shit, fat ass. But you tell me what's more important, maps or bundles? Cut off some of those devs making the bundles. You don't need that many people creating that many bundles. Whatever budget you have going towards that group of people, cut it in half and give it to the people who are creating maps. And you know what's even funnier about that is if we're only getting 2 maps per season and there's only like 3 seasons left because I guess season 5 doesn't exist, that is 6, maybe 7 core maps for multiplayer. Guys, majority of our base maps come from Warzone. There are MW2 maps all over Warzone. There's Terminal, there's High Rise, there's Quarry, there's Afghan. That's already 4 maps off the top of my head. And they don't even need to be limited to MW2 maps because we have an MW3 map in the game. Surely, if you have that many maps already integrated in Warzone, just put them in multiplayer and create more original maps. Why would anybody here accept 7 maps for the next 6 months when we can get 4 off the top of our heads for free as quick as possible by simply moving them from Warzone into multiplayer? And don't give me that garbage that the devs are overworked. Don't give me the garbage that it's Activision. Of course, Activision has a part to do with it. Bobby Cosby, eat my ball lint. But Infinity Ward, what the fuck are they doing? The other point that I see people possibly try to make is that there's some issue with the budget. If you guys didn't know, and I didn't know for the longest time either, but last year in Vanguard, apparently there was other maps on the table to be made, but I guess Sledgehammer had their budget cut by Activision because the game was so garbage, and I believe that to be true because a couple of leakers and Doug Dimmadome Warzone literally commented on my video saying that was the case, so I believe it, but I don't think MW 2019 Part 2 has the same excuse. I don't think the same case is being made here. This game made over $1 billion in its first week. I don't know how much it costs to make a map, but I can tell you right now, if you gave me $1 billion fucking dollars and that was only in the first week of the game and it's been over 4 months by this point, make more maps. If you already have 4 confirmed remastered maps minimum already existing in Warzone, how the hell does it make any sense that you can't make any DLC maps that are original? Look, as much as I dislike MW 2019 because the base maps were god-awful, and that was the sole reason why we have the shit stain that we have going on now, that game's original DLC maps were actually good. How the hell can't you do it this time when you had so much more time to develop and create things with a higher budget? Well, I'll tell you why, guys. Because they're spreading themselves so thin across so many different random shits that we don't need in Call of Duty. Look, if Warzone's gonna be a staple going forward because it was such a massive success back in MW 2019, the Battle Royale theater kids, if they want to go do that, that's okay. Create 1, 2, maybe even 3 maps per year for them. Have a team specifically dedicated to that, like, I don't know, Raven fucking Software. Keep them busy over there. Here in multiplayer, why is Infinity Ward working on DMZ? Can anybody tell me why DMZ is a mode in Call of Duty? I understand if you like it, I understand if there's some appealing qualities about it, but it's not Call of Duty. And if it's taking away from the development of multiplayer, which is the sole reason why you could even put DMZ in a Call of Duty game, separate an entire dev studio for it and have people dedicated to multiplayer. Ranked play, which is arguably the best thing about this game, is made and developed by Treyarch. What is Infinity Ward doing? They're working on DMZ, they're making these garbage ground war invasion maps that are just chunks off of the Warzone map. Can you please just focus on what is important in Call of Duty? The one thing that even got us here in the first place. Multiplayer, 6v6. There is no reason to have 70 bundles in your game with this amount of maps. How many times has the community been strung along on Activision and Infinity Ward and these other developers saying, oh, we hear the complaints, when majority of the complaints are about bugs or the lack of content, and they go on this whole thing about listening to the community and that they're listening to feedback and they're gonna do better. But now we know going forward for the next few months, there's only gonna be 2 maps maps per season. It's the same thing as Vanguard. I don't care if you think Vanguard is worse. I don't care if you think this game is worse. They're on the same level in terms of how worthless these content drops are. 2+ month-long seasons with 2 maps per season. It's garbage. It's filth. I am glad that it's been leaked because people who are waiting for more, now you know there's not gonna be more. Now you have even more of a reason to stop playing this game. You have more of a reason to stop buying bundles. And for content creators like myself, as somebody who's already quit on Call of Duty before the life cycle was over back in Vanguard, somebody like myself, the Scad Master, there's a chance I quit on this game even before the moment that I quit on Vanguard last year. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Do you think the amount of content coming up is enough for the community to keep playing this game? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
It's been a very long time since the weekend. It's been a very long time and I'm weak.